This video is going to be demonstrating how to replace a string in a piano. Now I've set up a jig that is going to use for demonstration purposes. It's not exactly a piano, but we'll show the process of how to replace a string. Now there's a couple different ways. If you've got a broken string, you can leave the pins in the piano, or you can take them out. But the first way I'm going to show you is with if the pins are out of the piano, out of the pin block, and putting the string on the pin and then putting it into the pin block. What we've got here is a piece of pin block with a couple of holes drilled for tuning pins over here on this end, and then at the other end I've got a hitch pin right here to wrap the string around. Okay, well, we're going to start here. I've got a regular tuning pin here, and here I have some piano wire, which we sell both the tuning pins and the piano wire in our online store. This tool here is a tuning pin coil maker, and this is a good one for coiling the wire onto the tuning pin when the pin is outside the piano. It really doesn't work if the pin is in the piano, and you'll see why. So you'll put the tuning pin in the hole. There's a set screw right here that the wire is going to be pushing against as it wraps around the tuning pin. So what you'll do is you slide the wire into the hole for the tuning pin, and then set the wire against the set screw, and then pull the end of the wire so that it just barely sticks out of the end of out of the side of the tuning pin, just a slight amount. Okay, and once you've got that set there, this is a tuning pin crank, which is probably the best tool to use for this. Okay, now what I'm going to do is put the crank on the end of the tuning pin, and then I'm going to turn it. I'm going to put about 2.5 coils. Okay, so that's 1, 2, and then about 2.5 coils on the tuning pin. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of hold the wire there as I take the tuning pin out. Take it off of the string and crank, and then I'll set the wire into the hole. This is a tuning pin punch. That's a good thing. If you pound right on the end of the tuning pin, it doesn't always work so good. So we'll use a tuning pin punch, and we'll put that, pound the tuning pin into the hole. Now you won't want it to go all the way because you want some room to be able to coil, and then of course the bottom of the coil should be a little bit away from the plate. I'll put it in most of the way. Okay, and then what I'm going to do here then is wrap the wire. Okay, and I'll pull it tight before I wrap the wire, and then I'll wrap that around the hitch pin that I've got, or the mock hitch pin that I've got here. And then I'll pull enough wire out, and what I'll do is I'm gonna cut off extra because I want to make sure I don't run short. So generally we want to have about 3 inches, and I'll show you how I measure that at the end. But I'm going to go more than 3 inches just to make sure I've got enough here. So I'll cut that off, and so I've gone more than 3 inches. But now I'm going to take my stainless steel rule here, and I'm going to measure 3 inches beyond, pulling the wire tight. I'm going to go 3 inches beyond the tuning pin hole. Okay, so there I've got 3 inches. I'm just going to hold that with my finger. I need to cut it off. And it doesn't have to be an exact science, but if you're at least pretty close, that'll give you about 3 coils on the end of the 3 coils on the tuning pin when all is said and done. Okay, so I've cut that off. Then what I'm going to do is take my other tuning pin, and again I'll take the coil maker here, put the tuning pin in, and again put it through the hole, pull the wire so that it's just barely sticking out the end of the side of the hole. And then the wire up against the set screw. Oh, and you want to make sure the wire goes underneath. The new coils go underneath. And again, about 2.5 turns. Put that into the hole. Using the tuning pin punch. Okay, now the only thing that we have to do yet here is tighten these up. Okay, now you want to make sure your coils are nice and straight. Okay, and you can use a tuning hammer for tightening the pins. What I've got here is this is a star tip ratchet socket. It's got the star tip at the end to fit the tuning pins. You can't use, or not very well, you can't use a regular ratchet socket because there's not ones that would fit the tapered tuning pins. But this one's designed, and we sell these in our online store also, that fit over the ends of the tuning pins. So what I'm going to do here is tighten these up a little bit, and as I tighten them, I'm going to use this. This is a coil lifter and string spacer. On one end it's got an end to hold up the coil, lift the coil. The other end is a string spacer. It's got 3 notches to space the 3 strings of the note. Okay, so I'm going to kind of hold those coils up as I tighten that. Now I'm not going to go all the way, but you want to get, and again you want to make sure sometimes if you're pushing up too much on your coils, the wire's going to want to go back up around. Okay, and then as we get close, there's a little becket here that you just want to push in with some parallel pliers to make sure that the becket is nice and tight. So I'm tightening that until it's mostly tight, and then I'll go back and do the other side. I'm going to tighten the becket on that one. And again, getting those coils nice and tight is kind of a crucial thing. So there we go. And so that's putting a string in. Of course, where it wraps around the hitch pin, and put it in. And then, because we didn't pound them in all the way, you want to determine how close you want to get the coils to the plate, and then you can go back and pound them in further. And then once they're right where they should be, you should be able to fine tune them. And there you are with newly installed string.